Welcome back to Girls Rewatch,
a podcast about girls,
TV, and girls on TV.
I'm Amelia Ratal.
And I'm Evan Lazarus.
And we are doing a Broad City rewatch. What episode are we covering?
We are
today?
doing season 4, episode 5, Abby's mom.
Pull behind the curtain. Evan's on Adderall.
I know. I'm like, something's going on with my brain when I'm on Adderall.
If this is a fun game you guys should play if you've listened to every episode of the pod.
Guess when Evan's on ad.
Yeah, which 4 episodes was Evan on Adderall?
I actually would love for people to kind of figure out what medication I should go on next.
Vote below if you think it should be Vyvanse, Ritalin, or Adderall.
I'll take one different every day.
Yeah.
So I really was kind of astonished to find out that Sadie Sink has 25K on Instagram.
I don't think that's true.
Okay, but guess
Can
how
you
much
pull it up?
Guess how it is true. Guess how much Sydney Sweeney has on Instagram.
15 million.
15 or 50?
15.
You think she's less famous than Sadie Sink?
Are you saying Sadie Sink has 25 million?
Yes.
I thought you were saying she has 25K.
No, 25 million.
And I was like, why doesn't she have that many followers?
She's 25 million.
That sounds about right.
And Sydney Sweeney only has 24.
Well, here's the thing about Sadie Sink is she's the only redhead we have.
No, that's not true.
She's the only one.
I don't want to evoke some names for you, but it would be upsetting if I did.
No, try to.
No. Chaperone.
Chaperone is not a
Amy
redhead.
Adams.
Amy Adams is a mom.
Okay, but she's still a redhead first.
She's a mom first, redhead
Twink
second.
and a redhead?
Okay, she's not on TV or Broadway. She's at every Broadway show, though. That girl is going to every show. I'm jealous.
Alina Fisher. How do you say her name?
Ilsa Fisher.
Ilsa Fisher.
You're right. You know what? It's Sadie Sink at the Star Confessions of a Shopaholic. That is my bad. I'm being crazy.
Did you watch Sirens?
Okay, I actually watched episode 1 last night. Are people liking that?
I'm fully caught up. And by the way, redhead in that, Julianne Moore.
I love Julianne Moore. When I was in high school and watched Still Alice, it changed my life.
So my one specific thing about Sirens is that it's so parallel to that TV show that came out last year with Nicole Kidman, where she's also a redhead, called Perfect Couple.
Oh, I never watched Perfect Couple, but
okay.
I forgot that 9 Perfect Strangers was going to get a second season because it has been 4 years.
Winter season, resort. I
can't wait because right before I moved to New York, I used to work really hard at my job and only have an hour that I could I really would take a lunch hour because I would be back in the zone for another 4 hours till 5 p.m. And I would let myself watch A Perfect Stranger while eating lunch.
I mean, the book is much better than the TV show.
This is what everybody said, but I'm like, Nicole Kidman and Melissa McCarthy hanging out.
That's why I plugged it initially.
Of course, but it was so good. It was kind of bad, which was good.
The TV show's paced like the book, which is great for a book but bad for a TV show.
It was ultimately a bad TV show, but I liked watching it. You know how seasons take 4-year gaps now? It's like I'm in a different place in every category of my life, spiritually, emotionally, physically. And to find out there's now a season 2 of 9 Perfect Strangers, I'm like, oh, we're still doing that? That was a different chapter of my life.
Anything that involves Nicole Kidman needs to take 4 years between seasons. It's kind of the curse of Big Little Lies.
It's just if we got a Euphoria season tomorrow, we'd all be like, well, honey, we moved on.
I actually don't. I don't think the culture's fully moved on.
Oh.
And I think a lot of those actors haven't either.
I think they all really have.
Zendaya has.
One of them is dead.
You know, I can't argue with that. Anyway, Sirens is this. It's I just love the genre of wealthy family going through tragedy.
A fish out of water where a girl that wears black eyeliner hangs out with pastel pretties. Amazing trope.
It really be like that.
Amazing trope.
And Meghann Fahy's involved.
And by the way, for Meghann Fahy to get to be the black eyeliner girl, oh my God, icing on the cake.
Involved in the project too, Sirens.
She is?
Oh, so now you're going to watch the next few episodes.
I watched episode 1 and then I got busy.
Well, Kat Cohen gets to play kind of the archetype that we've seen all famous women who get TV shows to play, which is drunken woman, which is Meg Stalter's kind of deal. And Holmes, it's always that person, a woman who's trying her best while inebriated, which
I'm addicted to all these girls.
Which is kind of the reason Overcompensating had its biggest hit was, of course, Haley.
Oh yeah, Holmes playing Haley. I don't know Haley's last name. 2
other names. That's
Wally Barham's roommate.
Right, exactly.
Love her. Love Mary Beth's character.
Truly the funniest character we have.
I just love that Mary Beth Barone's character is kind of the eldest daughter with who's really angry and had a goth face. I'm really connecting with her.
I connected. Ultimately, her arc is so sapphic that I'm having a hard time fully committing to it, even though I enjoyed it immensely.
What do you mean her arc is sapphic?
I just think for a woman to be fished out of water, for a woman to go from kind of this like artistic emo girl to full prepster, it's because she's kind of denying her own gay qualities.
You think?
Right, like she got
Season 2 is gonna be crazy.
I think she could be sapphic in next season. And I think it's really hinted to with
the Julia Shiplett character.
Yeah, of course.
Interesting. I didn't pick up on that, but that's because I'm like, she's loving having a boyfriend so much.
I know, but if you're gonna go into a Halloween party and dress up as
Alice,
that's the most sapphic thing a person can do. And it's kind of Renee's character in Sex Life of College Girls. Where's this prepster who kind of has this like a little bit of a sordid past, not in the same way.
It's the prepster of it all where it's like, oh, you have a secret.
Right. It's like the bitchy mean girl being a lesbian all along. And then actually having lesbian friends too.
I feel like the fact that when she goes back to her hometown and like is like, fuck it. Like, I'm always going to be disgrace to them. It's like the trauma isn't about being gay with her.
Okay, but
it's about being othered in a goth way.
That's like one of those things where it's like she's not saying she's gay, but that's a gay experience.
It's the metaphor for being gay.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't you think they just make her lesbian?
Look at your sister's experience currently.
I guess that is true. And by the way, sibling.
Oh my God, beautiful.
Huge news.
I didn't know.
Yeah, I'm going to have to change my TikToks.
Right, so your siblings' experience right now where they're learning about their sexuality so closely tied to their alt persona, very sapphic, very queer.
Wait, my sibling needs to watch Overcompensating.
Your nibbling, yeah.
My nibbling? It's
non-binary sibling.
Is that what it's called?
Nibbling, yeah.
Oh, I thought nibbling was for like niece, nephew, non-binary.
Oh, yeah, that's... No, wait.
I don't know.
No, you're right.
I don't know my vocab.
I always just say I don't have any nieces and nephews to refer to, so it's just not a term I'm familiar with.
I have to say I really love Meghann Fahy and Sirens, and that's the only reason I'm watching it, because I don't like scary stuff. Like the bird flying in freaked me out, but
it doesn't. The rest of the show does not echo the tone of that one scene.
Okay, then no worries, I'll keep watching. But I will say every time I watch Meghann Fahy in something, I always think about her fellow cast members from The Bold Type, and I'm like, how are they doing with this?
Not well.
Like, that has to be tough.
Well, she's such an undeniable star.
It's so tough to be in a TV show with one person who's undeniable, and then for their undeniability to be undenied.
Yeah, there's
to no longer be denied,
right.
And then it's like, well, what do we do, folks?
Well, Meghann Fahy has a very very profoundly sad scene in The White Lotus, and I think because of that scene is the reason she got casted in Sirens.
The way her eyes acted in that one scene, The White Lotus, she's really bookable right now.
Absolutely.
And you know what? I heard she's a pleasure to work with.
She seems very professional, and I think it's demonstrated by the fact that it took her a little bit longer in her career to find success.
Anytime a woman gets successful after hardship, read Lauren Graham. Yeah, we're gonna bring up Gilmore Girls. I thought we weren't gonna get to do it this episode, but here we are. They are always incredible because they have a little bit more time to marinate.
One of our interns told us that we were beloved on the Gilmore Girls Reddit, but hated on the Girls Rewatch Girls Reddit,
which is a lot.
Interesting.
I'm like, that's a poem.
Yeah, we're hated on the Girls Reddit, but we're loved on the Gilmore Girls Reddit, but not talked about in the Broad City Reddit.
I love it. And I love today's episode. Let's cross dissolve to our guest.
Yes, please.
Cross dissolve. Joining us on the couch today, it's the one and only Caroline Baniewicz.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for having me.
Oh my God, thank you for being on.
I'm really happy to be here. And one of my favorite things about your studio is I'm staring right at a pair of boobs.
Well,
exactly. No one talks about the girls' wall. That's that wall.
Yeah, it's just boobs. And I love it.
Well, we want to make you feel comfortable.
And you know that
right.
There's nothing more comforting than a pair of boobs.
The female form.
Absolutely.
I know, and it's nice to be it is cool to have both walls. I know listeners have never seen the other wall, but it is sex forward and it says comedy forward, but it does show women can do both.
Women can do both. And also, by the way, what is sex with if not comedy?
Exactly.
Literally.
Wait.
At least the way I'm doing it.
The way we could end the podcast here. We did it, folks.
That's it. What is sex if not comedy?
I love it. No. Well, we're so excited to talk girls and Broad City. Today we're covering Abbi's Mom, which is season 4, episode 5. This one was written by Alana Glazer. I'm going to do a quick synopsis. Are we ready?
Please go ahead.
Cold open. Abbi and Alana conduct a frantic mom-proofing of Abbi's apartment in preparation of her mom's arrival. Dirty laundry is concealed, half-drunken lattes are thrown out, Plan B pills are tucked away, and dildos are disguised as necklace holders to make the apartment perfect, complete with a welcome Abbi's mom poster. Plots. Abbi rattles off the light and fun mom in town agenda while a deflated Alana half listens, then revives herself with her sad lamp and talks about her seasonal affective disorder. She's been slowly decreasing her antidepressant dosage over time and is not interested in upping it. Later, Abbi's mom arrives and Abbi presents a perfect version of her life, or tries to. Her mother confesses that she experienced a health crisis and has come out of the other side of it in touch with all things she now realizes she wants to do, including a naughty girls' night out with Abbi. Bever intrudes momentarily to put the moves on Joanne. The pair head to dinner. Abbi's mom wears a sexy little Herb Ledger bandage dress and Sushi Mambo at Sushi Mambo, where Alana struggles to straddle a high-stakes tip competition. While struggling with her seasonal affective disorder, she sneaks away to the closet to revive a la sad lamp. Abbi and her mom open up to each other in ways they never have, which starts out sweet and quickly devolves. Alana turns the closet into a tinfoil sad lamp light room and blows a fuse and thinks she's blown it with her job too. She tells Marcel, RuPaul, to fire her. He hesitates, then shares that even though she's a career hustler, this depression shit, it's next level bitchy. They end the conversation amicably. He hopes she never gets better. Abbi's mom ends the night making out with a bisexual tongue and ends the episode buying a vibrator with the girls while Alana resolves to up her dose. They're all city girls now.
And that's what you missed on Glee.
So good.
It's so good.
Boom.
It really, when you were reading that, it does feel like our podcast is meant for BuzzFeed.
I want to mention one thing about when they're cleaning the apartment. The lattes they take out of the refrigerator are from Cinnabon.
No.
You are a different type of piece of shit if you're buying your coffee
Well,
from
you know
Cinnabon.
what? It's product placement because they've had Cinnabon all over this show.
It's true.
You're so right.
Yeah, they're getting they're
Me,
it's
feeble
SponCon.
mind. I need to start thinking about my
If the
finances.
interns are listening, we're going to want clips of that. So just go
Yeah.
through all the Broad City episodes and find a Cinnabon references.
Me, I grab my Cinnabon coffee.
We're actually doing a sponsored deal with them today, $100 million. Okay, this episode was so fun. I wrote an essay on it in college, so I have lots
No
to
way.
say.
What?
Not to be
You
crazy.
did. This is like your third episode you've written about in college.
People don't understand the amount of Broad City analysis I did in my media production degree. It was really on the heart and mind of me. But we have to know, Caroline, what is your deal?
I found Broad City through my siblings. They were watching it. So I watched like a lot of like sporadic episodes through them. What I will, but it's like, and I know everyone who's like us who like moved to New York at this time, like it's similar to Girls. It's just like so like they really did capture it in a bottle.
When did you move to New York?
In 2018.
Oh, stars in your eyes.
Stars in my eyes.
Were you in Texas and you were like, I have to go be a star?
I knew. So I went to school. I went to school for musical theater.
Right, because your
I apologize.
friend's about to sing later. And that only
Yeah.
happens to
Is that
people who
your
do musical theater in college
Of
first.
course,
Yeah.
of course.
Is that your friend from musical
No.
theater school?
We actually
Okay.
met doing a show. But I'm going to my friend's concert tonight. Ellery Ward, very, very talented. But also a musical theater girl. So I went to school for musical theater. I knew I wanted to move to New York. And I think my parents were just like, I had had my mindset on this for so long that my parents were just like, okay, we already lost her. We're not going to
Right.
fight it. Because they were like not, like, they were very strict. I have to confess another thing. I was homeschooled my whole life.
Oh
So,
my God, we
I know.
love homeschool
I know.
kids on the pod.
So I think my parents just like knew there was no changing my mind. So they were like, you know what, we're not gonna fight you on this. So I moved here, stars in my eyes, but first of all, hadn't gone to therapy, unmedicated. So I was just like
and you'd
kind
never
of
really
intense.
met a person yet,
And I didn't know one. I didn't know one person.
unless you met him like I assume doing theater.
Or working at Buffalo Wild Wings because I worked there. But I went to college.
Where'd you go?
I went to Oklahoma City.
Oh my God, that's like serious.
So yes, yeah. But the funny part is, if you don't know musical theater, I mean, it's not like the best musical theater school, but if you don't know musical theater, you're like, okay, you went to Oklahoma City, but it was like a big
No,
theater
like
school.
my best
That's
friend
why
Lydia, who
I'm
is the
completely blank
star.
over here.
Wait, what?
I've never heard of it, but it's
Lydia
cool to
Cam
learn.
went there, but
yeah.
then she dropped out after a year because they wanted her to be like opera, and she's like, I want to be musical theater.
Yeah, a lot of opera.
They make you do opera.
They made
Yeah.
her do opera,
Can
so
you imagine being so talented they make you do opera?
literally she's incredible.
She's a lucky girl. Did you do opera?
If you were like a musical theater major, like you had to do a lot of opera. So it is like not for everyone because of that. And also, like, I didn't need to know opera, if I'm being quite honest.
Yeah, but wait, so how were you like, wait, I should do comedy?
So I
music?
moved here, and like, and this is where like I do think like, I think like I was literally talking to another friend, and tell me if you guys agree with this. I think if you're someone who needs to create, and not all creative people feel a need to create. I think it's kind of an anxiety thing. I think it's very Abby. And if you like, you know, I'm auditioning, whatever, this is me in 2018. I'm auditioning, things aren't going well. I think part of the depression, besides being like, you know, 22 and like not taking care of my mental health, was I think I just had to create. And the thing about comedy is there's a lot of stage time.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's a big community, and you can do comedy and go into other avenues. Like you can, you know, like comedy is so broad. Like comedy can be podcasting, it can be stand up, it can be writing a TV show, it can be doing sketches, it can be doing improv. Like it's so broad.
Right.
And on top of that, obviously, like I adored like that SNL, like growing up with that SNL group,
Yeah.
and also growing up with Glee. Like if Glee, High School Musical, and all of the women on SNL didn't happen in my childhood, I would be in
Maybe
Plano.
You'd be in Plano.
Right.
I would be in Plano. Like all of those things, just like so. Anyways, so I feel like people are like, oh, why did you switch to? I just feel like I had a liking to comedy, and I felt the need to create.
No, totally.
I feel like the thing about being an actor is you have like no agency, and then when you're an actor who does comedy, it's like suddenly like you get to tell people who you are.
Oh, absolutely.
And I also like to my actors who like don't do comedy or like don't write things, honestly, like I just don't believe I'm talented enough to like I'm not gonna like I don't think I'm talented enough that someone will pick me. Like,
right. We're in the creator economy too.
I'm gonna make you pick me.
Absolutely.
You're gonna have to pick me. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Okay, we've got to jump over to our question.
Girl, what girl are you?
I am an Abby.
Mm.
However, in this episode, it's like an autobiographical. Like I was a waitress. I was so depressed. I had a sad lamp.
Oh my God, you had the sad.
The sad lamp doesn't work.
Okay, I used it in college, and I have to say I had depression with it.
Yeah. And also, by the way, I'm going down on my mood stabilizers right now. So like this is
Oh my
actually,
God.
and when I worked at a restaurant, I worked at many restaurants, but when I was working at the restaurant, when I was depressed with the sad lamp, the owner of the restaurant literally went to like an older, like career hustler, as they say, as RuPaul said, went up to them and was like, can you like check on Caroline? She seems like so depressed.
No. When someone knows enough to be like, can we do a wellness check on our girl?
Yeah, when a middle-aged owner of a restaurant who's like an immigrant, like does it like,
Right.
you know, has like other shit going on, is like, can you guys go check on?
Has
Can
seen
you go check on
Famine.
Blondie? She's
Yeah, can you go check on the
looking sad.
23-year-old? She's not good.
Wait, male or female?
Male.
Okay, well that one makes
Whoa.
no sense.
That's
No, I know.
radical.
That's how like, you know. So anyways, but
Wait,
I
but
am an Abby. I am.
Girl, what girl are you in this episode? I think you're Abby because you love to get your mom crazy.
Yeah, I would love to do shots with my mom. I guess at the end of the day, I'm the mom,
You're Abby's mom.
or I'm the girl who's like doing coke outside and would ponder going to med school.
Yeah.
She's like, I really got to get back to med school and to sober up. What's it called?
Rehab. Right.
That crazy word. I'm definitely Alana because I'm always trying to quit cold turkey my drugs, and then it doesn't go well at all, and then my friends get mad at me.
Right. You were so Alana this episode. I don't think you've ever been more Alana in one episode than this one.
No. And also, girl, what girl is my mom? It's Abby's mom. My mom is like
Never
never
your mom
had.
doesn't have fun like that.
She hasn't even had like caffeine Diet Coke. She gets like the no caffeine Diet Coke. She doesn't drink, and she's always getting cancer.
I always wonder what like
I'm not kidding. She's
It
gotten
is
cancer
true.
like 5 times and never tells me until after it's cured. And I'm like, what?
No, that was the one thing about this episode is the mom told Abby she had cancer at a very appropriate time
Right.
at the apartment together at the beginning of the visit, like where they had time. If this was like more accurate to moms, they would tell you while you're at work or like at the intermission of a Broadway show where then you have to go back into the Broadway show, or like right before they leave.
is
Alphabet
so
just
girl.
sucked Defying Gravity.
No, the
She's
like lights are flickering on and off to go back to your seats.
I had to
guys
get my
watch-
uterus
Do you
cut
guys watch
out.
Ginny and Georgia?
Ginny and Georgia?
No, but
Okay,
I
so in
know.
the end of season 1, Ginny is standing on the corner, or Georgia's standing on the corner, and she's trying to talk to her best friend who's so mad at her because she's sleeping with her brother. And during the play, she's like walking off stage. She'll have a full monologue with her, and the girl's expected to go back on stage. And that's exactly what a mom would tell you if she has cancer.
It's exactly when a mom would tell you she has cancer.
Yeah, that's
Like right before you go on stage at regionals on Glee or something like that. You know what I mean?
My mom told me in a fight, she was like, you were never there for me when I had cancer last year. I'm like, you didn't tell me you had that. Like,
yeah.
No, last time she told you we were in the middle of a conversation, she was like, can you talk right now? You're like, I'm a little busy. She goes, I have cancer. And you're like, oh, I wish you actually
yeah, I
called.
was on speaker with Evan. It's like
The same kind of cancer?
different
No, 1 to 5.
Yeah, one of the 5.
Uh-oh.
Oh my God.
Bridget, you're so strong, girl.
Bridget's strong.
Okay, let's cut to our first break and then we'll get into the broad and the butter.
So talented.
Wait, what's the premise of your pod?
Oh, it's just us bitching.
I love that. Is it called bitching?
No, it's called No Thanks for Good. And the idea is we're just talking about like things. We're just, okay, so for example, this last episode we read, do you remember the click books?
Of course.
We read the back of the click books because the back of them like say what the girls have been up to, and they would fat shame Dylan so hard. Like one of them was
Is Dylan the blonde girl?
Dylan was the redhead and she was a
Okay.
little bit thicker. She wasn't thick at all.
It's like the Carmen and Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants.
It's crazy.
It's like, okay.
And like so she like hadn't even had her period yet. Like she was literally so thin. And on the back of the books they were always like, if only Dylan could give up mozzarella sticks for summer. Like they like would
Jesus
every
Christ.
so it's like things like, it's not always nostalgic things, but it's always things that were just kind of like, can we talk about this thing?
Right. Those books took place in my hometown. So can you imagine growing up with that
What?
social pressure on your back?
That's a lot.
I remember the first time going to Evan's hometown and they're like, this is what the click books are about, by the way.
Where are you from?
I'm from, okay, so it takes place in Westchester, but there's
Uh-huh.
only so many towns that could have taken place in Westchester.
Oh.
So it's either Scarsdale or Bedford. And then I just
Evan's from Scarsdale.
I'm
No,
from
I think it's Scarsdale.
Is it?
No, I think it is. Bedford doesn't sound familiar.
No, and Scarsdale might.
Scarsdale does.
I'll bring you there. You'll love it, girl. It's just like the click books.
I would love to go. I wear the little like newsy hat that they wear.
The thing about all these shows is like that would take place in Connecticut just based off the way they dress, because girls are so Lululemon forward in Westchester.
Well, I think a lot of shit. You know what's so crazy about rich people is that, and tell me if you notice this. Small towns, right? We have
Mhm.
small towns. We have everything's a small business, corner store. Then as a city gets more wealthy, we get the Lululemons, we get the Sweet Greens, but then as the city gets even more wealthy, we go back to small like Connecticut. Everything's like a small
Right.
town.
Well, it depends
It's mom and
when they
pop.
became wealthy.
Interesting.
Because the older wealthy areas, they actually have laws in place that they can't open small businesses. Like they can't own chain businesses there, so they can only keep it small businesses. So
Oh.
towns that have been more traditionally wealthy have rules in place that only like certain businesses that are chain can open up in them. So they keep it boutique.
Like the Taylor Swift Rhode Island town is like only small businesses.
Yeah, of
Because
course. And that's why
Starbucks
she
isn't
moved there.
legally allowed to be there.
That's
Damn.
crazy.
What is the name of the town?
Rebecca rode up on a Rhode Island
Yeah.
stage.
I don't know what it
Is
is.
it
but-
Arrington?
I don't know what it is, but there's an ice cream shop near Taylor Swift's house, and it's so yummy. But we drove past her house, and it's like actually Fort Knox.
Really?
Like there's like so many gates, which I don't blame her.
No, I mean she has so many stalkers.
not
the poor
Newport.
thing.
I don't know.
What is the town?
We'll insert it right
Swifties
here.
are screaming right now. Yeah.
Okay, so we'll go back to the episode, I
Okay,
guess.
and we're back. The broad and the butter. Okay. Abby's presentation of her perfect life to her mother. Are you close to your mom?
Yeah, I am close to my mom, but not in a way where we would ever take shots. Like we're kind of like your life, you know, those like friends who like disagree with some of your life choices. So you're like besties. You can go to the movies together, yap, yap,
Mhm.
yap, but you just like don't talk about your boyfriend with them because they don't like your boyfriend.
Yes.
That's
such
like
a good way to describe
me and my
it.
mom. Yeah.
Is she supportive of vertical or she only likes horizontal?
Well, she is religious, so she's very into missionary. Is that what you're saying?
No, she's talking about like
Content.
TikTok or
Oh, I'm like literally vertical horizontal. What are you talking about? So she's like not against me making content or like going after comedy. It's more of like she just wants it all to be clean.
right.
Right, she's
And
like,
it never
they should play
is.
this
Like
at
God-fearing jokes. Yeah, like if I was Nate Bargatze, she would be so proud of me.
And I'm
love
sure she loved
it.
your Pope video recently.
Literally, exactly.
Wait, is she Protestant or Catholic?
She grew up Catholic, but now she's Southern Baptist.
Yes,
Mhm.
I know them well. That's my community.
Don't know. I just learned about Calvinism. It's just like a lot of my brain.
Calvinism is pretty Southern Baptist.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, that's beautiful.
John Calvin.
Sean
Baptists
Calvin.
don't-
John Calvin or Sean Calvin?
John.
John.
I feel like
right?
Sean is a name that's only been around for a little bit. Maybe I'm making
You
that
just
up.
came up with that.
That one's like a new release.
Literally.
Well, when
kind
did
of
it
like-
become- it's
like
boy girl
Brentley.
though.
Brentley, yeah, it's like post 2000.
There's only certain names where I'm like, that's a new one.
It's literally anything to come up with the showgirls or the show.
Yeah.
They're so good at coming with like new names.
No, they are like Shoshana.
Shoshana. Well, that's a very
That's-
ancient name.
Yeah, it's a very
It's new
like
to me.
Jewish.
But to
It's
me,
new to
Jessa
me.
feels like one of the newest names we have.
Jessa?
I think it's just Jessica, but people rebranded it.
Right, exactly. A rebrand.
By
is
the
all we
way, I
have.
want to say something. I know that
Please.
we're talking about Broad City, but Jessa was a terrible friend and should have been kicked out of the friend group a long time ago.
Well, I'm a Jessa apologist.
I understand it because she's cool, and like I understand having her around a little bit because she gave the girls this kind of validation that they weren't like just rich, shallow girls. It's like, oh, we
Right.
have this artsy girl. She makes us feel cooler, but she was just a bad friend.
She was a bad friend, but she was never taught how to be a good one.
Yeah.
Whoa. I'm just like, who would activate them like that? They need to be activated in order to produce good content.
We
Do
need
you have a
plot.
friend like that in your friend group where you kind of all talk shit about them? You like know they're a bad friend, but they like add so much to your life.
I've had, I don't have.
I've had and I don't have yet. But
Right.
that's what I'm saying. Like I think like getting in your later 20s is like I can't deal with this anymore.
No.
Okay, I do have currently, but I'm so good at separating them
Who
right
is
now.
it?
I can't say.
You can't say.
Oh, yeah,
But
that's
he
a
isn't creating
Jessa. That is a Jessa. Jessa with fedora.
Does he have a fedora?
Sometimes he does. You're close with your
does.
mom?
Yeah.
Did this mother-daughter relationships feel true to you or
Well,
no?
I think that my mom is kind of the pusher, and sometimes I'm the one observing in a way. So it's interesting to see the daughter. Like my mom doesn't smoke weed, but she'll drink a little bit too, and I'm always the sober one at the dinner table. You know what I mean?
That's kind of like my boyfriend too. He's like, mom, like, yeah. But you know what's funny is like any show where they smoke weed, they're high immediately,
I know.
which I understand.
Well, the episode before this is the drug episode where they trip on shrooms and it gets all animated. It is so interesting how they interpret drugs differently in every single episode of this TV show. They go from animated and such like a visceral thing, and then the screen is like warping at any moment it has, and then when she does with her mom, it's the most casual thing we've ever seen.
Well, okay, how do you guys like interpret, and we're talking about weed and shrooms, which are two different, but like how do you guys like visualize drugs? Like if someone was like explain shrooms versus weed.
Shrooms to me feels like Space Mountain more than it does animation. Like it feels a little bit more like
Like you're in the dark
like
on a roller coaster ride.
Galaxy. Yeah, like more
Oh,
like
not that Space Mountain,
sparkly, like Space Mountain at Disney.
which is completely dark.
Yeah, when you're in the dark, but there's like light beams and stuff.
Mm.
Whereas like Broad City paints it as very like coloring book vibes. But then weed is just anxiety for me. So shout out.
Weed is actually I've lost my ability to speak. I'm just like actually a vegetable. And then shrooms it's kind of more like as far as Disney goes, and I only went to Disney once I was younger, so Haunted Mansion.
Yeah.
Where like the walls kind of move and like things. The beginning of Haunted Mansion, I really don't remember. I was so
I know
young.
it so well.
Yeah. Okay. Good. So like in the beginning of Haunted Mansion, if I remember correctly, you're in a room and they're
right.
and then like
It starts lifting.
yeah, like there's like an optical illusion. It
Those
makes it feel.
Imagineers are so talented.
The
the way,
Imagineers are
I know.
incredible.
It's for children. It's terrifying.
It's scary.
I had my eyes closed like the whole ride.
It's
Of
my little
course.
sister's
What else
favorite
would you do?
ride since she was like 2. She was never scared.
See, I wish I was more like that. That kind of gives Jessa energy where it's like you're just like so in your own lane.
Wait, I'm loving this game. Okay, so for me, weed would be Tower of Terror that's now rebranded to Guardians of the Galaxy Tower.
Is it the same ride?
Same ride, different font.
Tower of the Terror is still Tower of Terror.
No, it's Guardian of Galaxy.
But
Well,
Tower of
where
Terror is
was
so
I
iconic.
2 months ago, babe? On the original Tower of Terror.
Wait, so only the LA location is now Guardians of the Galaxy?
Guardian of the Galaxy is in it's in the Animal Kingdom, girl.
No. The Tower of Terror now is Guardians of the Galaxy.
Not at Hollywood Studios, Florida.
Okay, well, I'm talking about, of course, the LA location. Anaheim.
Okay.
It's Guardian of the Galaxy theme now. And to me, that's what it feels like.
Guardians of the Galaxy is Disney.
Yeah, because it's everything that's Marvel's Disney.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah.
Have you been there?
No, but I'll watch them on TikTok.
Totally.
Sometimes I watch on TikTok
Of
too. I
course.
love watching the Avatar.
I went on the
animatronic.
Avatar thing where you like literally have to go into a thing and it's like 4D.
No, not that one. The blue animatronic that's like 10 feet
Oh,
tall.
that
And
really does that.
sometimes late at night, I just look it up. I can't stop. I don't know. I'm not even like, I've really been to Disney World once when I was like 6. It's the only time I've ever been. I'm not even like that big of a Disney adult.
But you
Obviously,
remember it so well.
God, I think because it was traumatizing.
Right.
But the Avatar
Trauma does
animatronic,
that.
I can't stop looking at it.
It's amazing.
No, it's actually so crazy.
It's a marvel, truly.
It's crazy what they're doing because they used to like move a little statue and now they like do like 3D animation but on a computer that's bending in a way that like I've never thought about. Like
It looks
the
like AI.
Frozen
Like
ride
the TV is
in
bending?
Norway, the Frozen ride, Elsa and Anna's faces are animated but they're
Yes.
in statue. It's so disarming.
so
it's
funny.
like it's an animatronic, but their faces are animated, so they can like make it move its face in a way animatronic could never.
No, and that's still what animatronic is. We've reached the next step.
We should go to Disney High. That makes a lot
Well,
of sense
I
that people
observe
do
all
that.
Disney
Yeah.
content through other people's eyes. Like I
Exactly.
love to watch a Disney vlogger.
Me too. Oh my god.
Of course.
And I saw someone say this where they were like, "I'm not a Disney adult.
Our
I'm
friend
a
Charlie
Disney
Flynn.
adult."
Yeah.
Your friend said that?
2 episodes ago.
It was on this podcast. I
Mhm.
saw that and I was
Yes.
like, "That is it."
He watches the people that collect the pins.
Yeah, I
TikTok.
recently got to them too. No, I love Disney adult. I'm not a Disney adult. I'm a Disney adult. Adult is exactly how I feel. I love watching them on Disney. I love watching what
Absolutely.
they wear. And I know a lot about Disney. Like I know you can't dress up as a character.
Disney bounding.
Yeah, I know. I know, but I myself am not.
Well, I actually like to think that they're creative people, but they believe in capitalism in a way that most creatives don't. Or like they're so consumerist oriented, so that when they go to Disney World, it's so easy for them to just believe in the magic because they don't see products being hucked at them the whole time.
Yeah.
And that's really what separates them from being a stand-up comedian or like a painter.
The thing
No,
about
I-
people
yeah.
who love Disney is they've never been to like a city, like their towns don't have a ton of like art necessarily. So it's like the most immersive
Right,
space
exactly.
in the world.
That's what they think full art is.
Yeah.
I have 2 thoughts. First of all, I like, you know how you like date someone but you don't like actually date them. You're like, well, I don't count you as an ex.
Right, of course.
Like we dated for, you count me as an ex. I don't count you as an ex. So there was a guy like I kind of dated and his parents owned a timeshare in Disney.
Whoa.
And I was like,
Inside Disney or like right in Orlando.
like they had a
they're part of the vacation club.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
And I
yeah.
was like, and they didn't have like young kids or anything. And I was just kind of like, but like, what if you just got that in Cancun? It'd be cheaper
No,
probably.
Yeah, but they have some really cool bars apparently. Vanessa Hudgens loves it there.
But Vanessa Hudgens, like,
She has no taste, that woman.
how about her Coachella outfits in 2000?
Well, those were interesting, but she
what
held
about her
taste there.
sneaker night, the
Well,
music video?
Put your sneakers
taste
on.
froze the moment she became famous. Ultimately, I saw her Architectural Digest. It's good in only 1 out of 4 rooms.
Oh, wait, who's your favorite Architectural Digest?
Okay, it's just like a random couple in Austin, but they had an amazing eye. And sometimes you guys have to acknowledge that. Or I love that guy who's just on White Lotus. What's his name?
Jake.
Half bald.
Oh, I need to watch his. I haven't watched
Oh
it yet.
yeah,
Walter
Peter
Goggins.
Thank you, Walter Goggins.
No, the thing about Architecture Digest is you can tell when someone came, and this goes for anyone's apartment, but this is only rich people who can really do this. You can tell when someone came in and they were like, "This is what we're gonna put here. This is what we're gonna put here," and you can tell when someone else worked, like had their vision with like Lily Allen. Like someone
Right.
didn't come in and just do that. She was like, "I
Yeah.
want this. Let's work together." Or Emma Roberts.
I wish some of them had someone come in.
Emma
though.
Roberts had a vision.
I
Or-
think she did. She had like a doll wall full of dolls.
Emma Chamberlain didn't. She was like, "I'm so young. Like, tell me how to be."
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, that's like part of like your style is like you have to like grow up. I don't know.
You
but
have to figure it out.
the other thing about Disney, I had one thing. I'm sorry, I forgot. maybe.
Vacation Club boyfriend.
Broad City really does feel like the Disneyfication of Brooklyn, though.
Oh my God, say it louder.
I had to just remember the words I said. Broad City really feels like the Disneyfication of Brooklyn.
Did you guys ever feel like your mom was mom mode and then suddenly became friend mode and you freaked out?
This
Thank you for
happened to
going
me
there.
really recently. Yeah.
What happened?
My mom, like, well, it kind of has been happening a lot, but like a lot of times when I'm with my mom, especially the older I get, she starts like confiding in me in things like not like salacious, like the way that Abby's mom was, but more of just like complaining about my dad. And it's like, you're my mom.
Right. My mom chose to do that from kind of 8 years old to now.
Yeah.
But now she's kind of going mother mode in a way that she didn't. Like, she's almost doing reverse.
Yeah. Sometimes it's more of like, you know what I think it is I want my mom to be really happy.
Mm-hmm.
And it's hard as a child to hear, and not that my mom's like struggling with anything
Right.
like big, but it's hard when you hear like that your mom's like, you're like, oh, but I just want you to be like so happy and everything's perfect, but it's not.
Yeah, no, like Abbi taking it on of like, oh, my mom's really sexually frustrated and feels like she's wasted the last 30 years of her life. And she said she hasn't had fun since she got pregnant with me. And it's like, oh, I can't take this on.
Right, where you watch Susie operate herself through Broad City, where she's so like self-assured and she doesn't have a single insecurity that Abby's mom does.
To see the difference between
Right.
Abby's mom and Alana's mom and understand so well how Abbi is the way she is and Alana is the way she is. Because like Abby's like the cool random artist in like her shy
Well,
like
Abby is
family.
who she is despite her mother, right? Like she's seen how her mother operated through the world, and she said, I don't want to be this stay-at-home wife who's like subservient to the husband. I want to like stake on my own. I want to be an artist in New York City. I want to make my own life. Where Alana is kind of living the image of her mother, where she takes on, because she, and it's just like the way they respect their mothers differently.
Yeah, and I think with Abbi, it's like she's like, okay, my mom wasn't an artist. I want to be an
Right.
artist, but she's not, because she wasn't raised by an artist. It's not like like Lena Dunham's raised by artists.
Yeah.
So she was always told like, express yourself, do this. Like the reason Abbi is so anxious and insecure is because she didn't grow up in an environment that was encouraging that version of herself. So it's like, that's the learning curve that Abbi takes 5 seasons to kind of like get
Right,
to Alana's
and that's why
level.
Abby is so much more of a Marnie, because
She is a Marnie.
Right, exactly. Because you look at Marnie's relationship, like her mother is there, she's supporting her, but is she fully committed? I wouldn't say so. She's constantly asking Marnie to change her dreams, to just settle for a man. But her mother is also having kind of the same experience that Abby's mother does, where in the show Girls, Marnie's mother starts sleeping with a younger waiter, which happens in Broad City as well, where Abby's mom is now like making out the waiter at the restaurant.
Abby's like, can you not wear my blue sex dress?
Well, the other thing that's interesting though is there are parallels between these characters and their mothers, because their characters knew, or
Right.
the mothers knew what they wanted their lives to look like, and in a similar way, Abbi and Marnie know what they want their life to look like, and they're like, and that's where the anxiety comes from, because they're like, this is what my life needs to
Right,
look like.
exactly.
Whereas like Alana, and I mean Hannah has that too, where she's like, this is what my life needs to look like. Whereas like characters like Alana and Jess are like more free spirited, like whatever will be.
Yeah.
And like they have like this lack of anxiety for like benchmarks in their life
Right.
by certain ages.
That is so real.
Well, yeah, it's so true. Because in Girls, all the mothers are putting like external pressure on the characters, but you don't see that ever in Broad City. Like they let these two daughters of theirs just like operate however they want in the city, just like make.
That
Like,
is
they just
so
want them to be
real.
happy.
Like Lorene is like, I wish you wouldn't date
Right,
a man
exactly.
that's like this. But Abby's mom is like, so like,
I'm
how many
jealous.
people have you fucked?
Yeah, that was so crazy. I feel like even if your parents are really cool, that's a conversation you should never have to have with your mom.
To say 32 to your mom that's had sex with like 2.5 people.
2.5
Like
people.
that's tough. It's tough.
Well, and one magical thing about Broad City, and it's funny to watch because they're so good at like bringing a parallel in from another episode. Anytime two people are at dinner one-on-one, one of them has to be extremely drunk out of their mind.
Yeah.
That's true.
I also want to say, no shade, but that actress has never taken a shot in her life. The way she took that shot, the mom, first of all, by the way, she's
What's her
incredible. She's amazing. She's from Make It and Break It.
Perry Gilpin.
Which also Perry is such an amazing name. Like she was
course.
iconic
A new
and she was
name.
wonderful. I just have to say the way she took that. First of all, there was no liquid in that glass, and second of all, she's never taken a shot in her life.
You're like, this is pretend. This must be a show.
I was like, this is you know how improv like they'll like overdo it. So,
Yeah.
you know, it was like. I was like, she improv that, but she was amazing. She was wonderful.
No, let her take a
I
shot.
love it. I love when she falls into the pond at Sushi Mamba
too.
because it's so like when Abbi goes crazy and does a bunch of coke in that blue dress and like stands and like falls off the table at that one party.
Right, exactly.
It's so like they had fun with their parallels. But Sushi Mambo competition, let's hop over to like Alana fighting for her life at her job. Were you ever really depressed as a wait? Well, you were saying.
Yeah, I was really depressed. Another very Broad City thing about me is I've had a million jobs in the city.
Gig economy is
So I was a nanny. I was a singer on a tour bus. I was a waitress. I've been a caterer, which is different than a waitress. And I've been a caterer.
Tour bus.
Yeah.
Go into it.
So it was a Broadway tour, and I would sing. So they'd be like, and here is where the circus was or whatever. And then I'd sing like, never enough, never enough.
That's incredible.
But they didn't have a microphone, so it was like into the, so it was like
To do it a cappella.
like it was into like
The
that like
walkie-talkie
the walkie where you had to like hold the button.
Stop.
And it was a lot of music, girl. It was
my
so
God.
much music. And I remember one time I was singing Memory from, by the way, I get car sick.
No, you can't have
And I'm
this.
like facing them. It's behind. I'm like, every time there's a turn, I'm like you know what I mean? Like holding on for dear life.
That's so
And I remember
funny.
singing Memory from Cats, and like I couldn't really remember the words. And
Isn't
I
that
looked
ironic?
out. Yeah. And I looked out, and one of the older women was like crying because she was like, it's so beautiful. I know.
I thought she was mouthing the words to you.
Yeah, that would be funny. No, it was like, but that was like one of my
You were
favorite jobs.
changing lives.
Literally.
Well, at least you were getting to marry your passion with your job.
Yeah, honestly. But that was like really, it's also very much like the other two too, where you just like
It
have like
is.
so many. Yeah, it's like gig economy.
And by the
Yeah.
way, he has that job.
He does literally have that job.
Is
Yeah.
that literally- Okay, you know what's so interesting about this episode? In the last episode, Abby's telling Wanda Sykes that like she's really stressed out and needs an emergency therapy session, or maybe it was a couple episodes ago. And Wanda's like, I'm glad you're taking care of your mental health. Go do that. And then in this episode, when Alana's too depressed to be good at her job, RuPaul's like, you're amazing. Like the way this
Yeah.
was like, this came out the year we invented self-care and like boundaries and like what mental health was. We didn't know about it before this, essentially. And the way it's like written into this is like, this is the first time a TV show has been like, "Ugh, a girl is sad and it's a medical thing. Like,
Yeah, and they really addressed it really well with like the button at the end where she's like, I'm gonna not be stigmatized. But another thing that I thought was interesting, like the way Rue was like, it's kind of like, cunt that you're depressed. Like I do feel like there's this time in your 20s where you kind of like being mentally
Of
ill.
course.
No,
You
because like
romanticize
you
it.
want to be that girl from that book of
If I've
Tessa
read a
wrote.
single one of my friends' Substacks, it's like, yes, you're absolutely correct.
What is it called? My Year of Rest and
Some
Relaxation.
relaxation.
Oh, of course. Did you read that book?
Of course.
Okay, spoiler alert if you're going to read that book, and I won't say too much, but like what's up with books like randomly having 9/11 be a plot?
I know. It's like the end of Remember Me with
Yeah,
Robert
it's like
Pattinson.
this. We did not have to bring 9/11 into this.
But I think we had to.
I guess we did.
Every
Yeah.
good story.
But I do relate. Like
Sorry.
I just feel like there's something, especially in New York, like there's something about like, oh, you're suffering. Good for you.
No, like that's
absolutely.
the romantic, the poetry of the city is that it's hard.
Yeah, it's so hard, especially like you're a server. Like this is the hardest place to be a server. First of all, like I wasn't on my mental health grind, so like I was forgetting everyone's orders. I was crying in the freezer.
No,
That
no
must have made you an
Adderall.
amazing waitress, though.
Well, I was like well, that was also what I was gonna say. I was like, Alana really needed an Adderall.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she just needed Adderall.
She just needed an Adderall. But
She would
also
have lost her spark.
the other thing too is like I come from I come from Texas.
You every
Sorry.
morning.
Yeah. I come from Texas, so like when I moved here, I wasn't like now when the winters come, like I'm honestly pretty good about it. You just like have to make sure you spend enough time outside in the morning.
Right.
You have to have the right coats. I have a heated jacket now.
You have a heated jacket?
Yeah. I could be
Life-changing?
electrocuted at any moment.
Whoa.
But like Alana like wasn't prepared, which is weird because isn't her character from upstate?
Long Island.
Long
even.
Island.
So close.
Yeah, like you've been living these winters every year, girl.
I think she's really sad when she was writing this plot line. She was really sad about the election.
Oh yeah, totally. That makes a lot of sense.
Well, I feel like
Yeah.
she was prepared, but she decided to take down her defenses, which was Wellbutrin.
Wellbutrin. Yeah.
I never encourage a girl to get off her antidepressants.
If there's
I've
one
never seen
thing a
work out
girl
with-
in her
oh,
20s is going to do, it's going to be like, I don't need the Prozac anymore. And then they fuck around and find out.
No, absolutely.
I'm here to tell you right now, you need the Prozac, and I don't think you should get off of it until you're 27 or 28.
Wait, I just turned 27. You think I can get off of it?
I think you could go down a little bit.
No, I don't. We saw
Once
what
your
happened
brain is
last
fully
time.
formed, I really do think when your brain is fully formed, like,
No, but she just started.
oh no, wait a year. Seriously,
I
wait
got
a year.
off of it for a year and it was like the worst year of Evan's life.
Oh yeah, wait a year.
Don't
Best
do
year
that
of
to
my-
me.
Maybe do 28. Do 28.
I love it. Okay, wait. Let's cut to our second break. And when we get back, we are going to find out your Broad City moment. And we're back. Caroline, what is your Broad City moment?
I have two for you.
Oh, thank God.
One was I auditioned. Of course, I had a backstage subscription.
Account, duh.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Which is like basically where you can, everyone knows who listens to this podcast, first of all, but it's basically where you can like apply to audition for something that like wouldn't be like a real breakdown that an agent or manager would get you. So it's like an independent film where like you do nudity for free, or like a really bad play. And this person was doing a musical, like a jukebox disco musical.
So it
And I
always
was-
ends well.
Wait, what?
It always ends well.
No, it always ends well. Yeah. So I go, this gentleman had like the most broken English, like, and first of all, better than me. Like, I'm not fluent in 2 languages, and this person was, but like,
Would have been perfect for Abby's mother, by the way.
yeah, like it was crazy. Anyways, the musical was unbelievably horrible. Like, it was so bad, and it was like different, but like the script was written in broken English. And a few years ago, or like last year, I remembered it and I started messaging everyone who was in the show. And there was like so much drama. He was always yelling at us. I messaged everyone in the show. I said, does anyone have the script? Someone did have the script. And,
Shout out Gmail.
yeah, so here we go. I'm going to read you one of the lines from the end. Okay.
Okay, I can't wait.
So it was this disco. I played Giselle.
Classic.
Duh.
She was a model at the disco. She wore
Bunchy.
an insane, like my nipples were almost always
Wait,
out.
is it not
Did you get
Giselle?
bell
Like,
bottoms?
Yeah, I had bell
Yes?
bottoms.
is it Giselle the model?
Yeah, I think it was literally just Giselle the model. Okay.
Like based off Tom Brady's wife.
Yeah, I think so.
And the most paid.
And at
highest
one
paid
point,
model of all
I like
time.
really took it in one performance. By the way, there were no seats. Like you came to the show, you had to watch the musical standing up.
Standing room only.
It was,
That's awesome.
It was in
girl.
immersive theater. We'd like go through the audience.
It's like Spirit Airlines with their new seats.
It was.
Is that real?
I don't know what's real online anymore.
I don't either, but
No.
apparently you have to like pay for your bags there too now. It's like a mess. But here's one of the lines at the end. We say, we like all get together and we're like, you want to know what? The music makes us move. The music's amazing. One of the characters says, we can live in a world where we can be all together and express ourselves regardless of colors and orientation, gender, or religions. And then another character goes, in the era of the hashtag #MeToo movement, let's create a new group, the hashtag #B2 for Be Together.
I don't see anything wrong with that.
And then we sing Disco Inferno.
okay, that's perfect.
It was written in broken English. If anyone ever wants to do a reading of it, I will be casting everyone.
We're remounting it here on the pod.
It's called Lost in the Disco.
Disaster artist.
My second one, that this is actually a plot. I had this roommate. We were friends. I feel for her because like I think she was like struggling with her mental health. Like, you know what I mean? We were in our early 20s. It's hard. And we moved to this apartment. And I feel bad because like you ever move to an apartment, you don't realize how small one of the rooms is.
Always.
So she had like the small room, but
You're
to be,
so
I was,
good at that in real estate photography, by the way.
yeah, I know.
It's a
And
real
then it's
talent.
the size
Fish
of
Island.
a bed.
Fish Islands. These real estate influencer, like they need it.
I
yeah.
know.
I was paying more for the bigger room, and I also found the apartment. Like she didn't look at any apartments with me, so like to paint myself, like I did.
You're the hero of the story.
I looked at like 10 different apartments, and she like didn't come with me. But whatever.
Well, you lived with her still.
Yeah, and we were friends. But
I
she had a
don't see
smaller
point.
room, and so she liked to like sleep on the couch. But then like there was like she was always in the living room, and I had bought in the sofa, and she was on the couch so much there was like a dent where she's at. And one day I came home.
And you're like, Bevers.
I know exactly. One day I came home and she had her vibrator out. And I asked her, I was like, girl, are you using your vibrator on the couch?
Girl, you vibrating?
Yeah, girl, you vibrating right now? And I said, is that your vibrator, LOL? And then I went to the bathroom. I like collected myself. I was like, is this weird? And I was like, yeah, it is weird. So I was like, hey, you can't like vibrate. You can use your vibrator on the
Hey, can
couch.
you not vibrate on the couch?
And she like, we got in a fight, and then like she cried, and like it was like a mess. But it just feels like something that could be in girls.
No,
Yeah,
absolutely.
absolutely.
That's common space law.
Yeah.
I just don't understand, like, to me, a bed that's just in the room, like, if you're gonna do stuff that's not bed, go to the living room. But to make like your sleep routine kind of outdoors.
Well, how tiny was her room?
It was small.
And she's sleeping every night on the couch?
Yeah, she was sleeping every night on the couch. I think it's because the living room had a TV,
Oh.
which was also my TV.
Right, of course. She was sleeping. Girl, that's pay rent there too, girl.
That was kind of my vibe.
Yeah,
That was kind of my
course.
vibe. But then she moved out because things weren't working out between us, which I understand. But then she got a sublet and didn't tell me, and the sublet just showed up one day.
What?
And luckily the sublet like was like this like cutie pie girl, but I was kind of like, girl, who are you?
Totally. As someone who's had about 11 subletters, like I think I did the math, like 28 roommates since I like was 18. And it's just like at a certain point, it's just like, all right, hello, random person, like welcome.
It's actually an amazing plot to a TV show to have a subletter keep coming through.
You should write that.
Yeah.
Wait, oh my God, you guys, I've been meaning to write a pilot. I'll do this one.
Yeah, no, a subletter is like so funny because it's also like, do we hang out?
No,
Yeah,
and it's like,
how
do
cordial
I?
are you supposed to get with them?
And how often are you allowed to say hi when you run into them? Because it's just like your whole life is just like, hi, how
Do you
are
guys
you?
talk about your day? I will say there was one sublet who like wanted to be my friend, and I kind of like thought of her like, oh, you're just a sublet, and I actually regret it because she was like really cool.
That's always what happens. It's not your fault.
I know she's the one that got away.
No, that's what Katy Perry's song was about, actually.
Do you guys know that song was about Josh Groban?
No.
Anytime I can spread this, and it's not a rumor, they both said it. It's about Josh Groban.
Oh my God. Thank God you're here today to tell us.
Summer after high school, we first met. We used to make out in our Mustang to Radiohead. And on my 18th birthday, we got matching tattoos.
What
Josh
year did
Groban.
Katy Perry get famous?
What songs does he sing again?
You raise me up so I can walk
Because she used to be a
on.
Christian singer.
Well, of course. We all know Katie's roots as a Christian singer.
It's beautiful to watch.
Never forget when my mom caught me watching Katy Perry's documentary on our TV. She canceled our Netflix subscription because she said that girl's a slut and a whore.
Wait, what?
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Are you kidding?
No.
If your mom was your friend now, she would never do that.
I don't know. My mom's still pretty sex negative.
My mom's sex negative too.
Yeah. It's hard to be a Texas like Gen X woman.
It's also like so like it's like crazy because it's like, how do I even get into this? Because I think on the outside we don't appear as someone raised by sex negative people. I'm not wearing a bra.
This is a
Your legs are
spaghetti
out.
strap.
What
My
are you
legs are
doing, girl?
out.
No, I'm asking for it. And like, I literally, it's just so crazy because it's like, how do I explain that like, even though I've been like out of the house for like over a decade, that like there's like this deep rooted thing
You just
that my
did.
parents, you know what I mean?
No, because there's no way to casually bring it up, especially when you're hanging out with like these East Coasters. They're all from Maryland and they like love sex and feel good about it all the time. It's like,
Yeah, literally. And they like don't feel bad about anything.
yeah, they
Like-
literally just like love their life and they're like, every choice I make is the right one.
But let me say one thing about them. When you
Is
go,
this one for you?
No, I'm learning a lot.
and I'm not talking about you. I'm not talking about you, but here's the
'Cause I'm
deal.
sex negative.
One time when you're talking, sometimes when you're talking to people who grew up like that, where it's like really chill, like no biggie, like I don't feel bad about anything. Why are you so vanilla then?
That is
Right.
true.
I just feel like you've had so much time to get better at this.
But I think that, you know, the different
Well, because
flavors
trauma
come
builds character.
I think
Sorry.
it is.
it's like comedy.
Yeah,
I think
right.
it's literally like, yeah, the tension between, like, the reason Catholics are so kinky is because of the repression.
Yeah, I guess that makes
Well,
sense.
New York City kids so often are the most boring people you've ever met because
They are.
They
and
are.
they feel so chill all the time. And you're like, you don't have like a pressure. Like,
I mean, they have like spent their whole lives just trying to stay alive, which like I do. I guess I respect. But like,
Yeah.
yeah, like, but also at the same time, and I don't need to get into the transplant conversation.
Right.
I don't.
well, everyone's
But
boring.
it is one of those things where it's like, well, I did move across the country to be here. Like, I want to be, like, you know what I mean? I did something hard. I
Yeah.
moved here by myself.
yeah.
Oh, and you're going to just tell me I'm boring?
The way that it's like New York City's whole thing is that most people are transplants. That's literally the premise.
But there's different, not all transplants are the same. Not all transplants are
No,
the same.
of course. It's a very difficult conversation. And of course, when I talk about New York City kids, I'm talking about the ones that I knew from the Upper East Side.
Yeah.
Right? Those are like, it's just a very specific
Gossip Girl
breed.
kids?
Yeah, exactly. It's like all their personalities built around a drama in their lives
That is
compared
true.
to their actual like personality themselves.
That is so true. It's like who they did a DJ set
Well, 'cause
with
some
when
of
they
them
were
are-
12.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, and their lives are like so crazy. Like they like actually last night was one of my best friends' birthday party. She grew up in Queens, and like she was telling me like after like in like 7th grade they would like go to the clubs.
Yeah, and
I'm like,
Yeah.
how did you get in? And I was like, did you have a fake ID? Like, how'd you get in? And she goes, I would just say like her older sister's name because her older sister was like famous in the city. I'm like, that's just crazy.
that's
That actually will
so-
build you as a person.
Yeah.
And I completely understand that.
Yeah.
It's the Jemima Kirk of it all.
No, it truly
Yeah.
is. When she had to put her hands out for David Bowie's ashes.
Now, can I ask a very straight question?
Yeah, of
Yeah.
course.
What is bisexual tongue? In the summary?
Oh, so what had happened was Abby's mom is making out with the waiter.
Yes.
And then RuPaul is like, "You're fired," and the waiter is like,
Oh,
"But I
gave
sucked you off."
Yes. Okay.
And
yeah,
then
yeah,
so
yeah.
Abby's mom is like, "Oh my god, I kissed someone who's bi."
Okay. I get it now. Bisexual tongue.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's a tongue of a bisexual.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Huh.
Yeah.
Boom.
Simple enough. Can you imagine it was that easy all along?
I was like, is this like a cool term that?
Well, we're about
My
to ask you
straight
some
ass.
really confusing questions,
Okay.
so get locked in. Girl, get
Get
your
your
Glock.
Glock.
It's
It's
rapid
rapid
fire
fire
time.
Are you a schoolgirl or are you getting schooled girl?
Whoa, am I schoolgirl or I'm getting schooled girl? I think I'm getting schooled because I didn't go to school.
How are you?
Oh, I think I'm doing well. Thank you.
Reduce, reuse, recycle, or Rihanna?
I'm gonna have to say Rihanna.
Who would you rather have go down on you, Michael Bublé or Janet Jackson?
Janet Jackson.
Are you the voice of your generation or a voice of a generation?
I am the voice of a generation.
Ass of an angel or mind of a mental health MacGyver? Mental health MacGyver.
Ass of an angel, of course.
It is great term mental health MacGyver. Okay. ESL lover or bisexual tongue?
Bisexual tongue.
Cultural fluid exchanges or cough syrup penetration?
Cough syrup penetration, just like Abby's mom.
Mother you like to friend or Alana is on the mend?
No,
So
explain.
Okay, ready? Mother you'd like to friend or Alana is on the mend.
So Alana's mental health or being friends with I don't want to be friends with Abby's mom. I thought she was annoying as hell.
That's the correct answer.
Yeah, no, I want Alana to get her mental health under control.
Career hustler or you're my father?
I think I'm a career hustler. No,
I think you are. I think
No,
you
I think
are.
I am. I think I'm someone who like, and I used to be like so much pressure on myself, and I actually had a roommate one time say like, you don't have to be doing so much. But then I came to understand that that's just me.
That's just
beautiful.
you.
You just have to be doing stuff.
You
like,
gotta do that weekly show in that water tower.
exactly.
Yes.
Girl, exactly.
Was that your show?
Yeah, that was my show.
We
don't do it anymore, but
It was a fun premise though. That water tower. The only
It's
time
gorgeous.
I only saw a crypto event there.
no, it's the water tower is so beautiful.
It really
The
is.
time I did that show, half the audience, we were like, oh, they're not really getting like anything. And then it was Hasidic teens.
Yes. Oh my God, I remember this. Okay, wait. Yes. No. Yes. Oh my God, that show was kind of a fever dream. It's actually something out of Broad City. So
Yeah.
for the concept, we did a show in a water tower. It was so beautiful. It was weekly. It was like. The thing about doing stand-up comedy is like not all spaces are made for stand-up comedy. So first of all,
are.
high ceiling. Second of all, bright as hell. Third of all, echoey. No one.
Fourth of all, how do you get to the top of a water tower?
No, and the elevator never works. So it's like, how do you even get? So yeah, it was like not like as far as comedy, not the best show, but as far as memories, still not the best show.
I'll never forget it.
Yeah, but it was good. It was good. We did it last summer. It was fun.
sad lamp or Diplo necklace holder? Dildo necklace holder.
Oh, sad lamp. Even though I don't know if they work.
Marcel as a father or Joanne as a mother?
You know what? Joanne like loves Abby, so Joanne as mother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you hiding first when your mom comes to town?
Oh my God, did you guys hear my song? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
What am I hiding first when my mom comes to town? Anything if my boyfriend sits in my apartment.
Totally, she can't know.
Oh, and also my antidepressants and mood stabilizers. I'm on both.
Oh my God, jealous.
Both. I'll hide both.
And lastly,
That left me like profoundly dumbfounded.
Yeah, no, it's crazy.
Profoundly
I'm medicated.
falling in the restaurant pond or no finger in the butt ever.
Falling in the restaurant pond. That's incredible. The wet look.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
it
it
is
would
a
be
look.
fun.
It's gorgeous. And how else do you hook up with a guy who's bisexual?
Literally.
Maybe a little bit wet.
Also, like, you need those
Fluid.
messy moments. And also, she doesn't even live in New York, so it doesn't matter. Like, no one knows her. Like, if, like, Alana did it, it's embarrassing. But, like, she didn't live in like, her mom, no one cares about
She's
the mom.
in and
Yeah,
out.
but Alana already has that kind of ethos. Like, you expect her to show up wet the places.
She
It's
does.
actually cool of her mom to
Right,
do that because she's
exactly.
not usually telling that story.
No,
Yeah.
please.
Also, like, when your mom comes to visit, like, after your mom comes to visit and you see your friends next, they're like, oh, how was the mom visit? And you're going to be like, yeah, fine. We went to the Met and, like, blah, blah, blah. I have a story now.
Right, exactly.
And something like you realize in this economy, there's two things that can like secure your place in a friend group. It's gossip and stories. If you come to dinner
So
with no
true.
gossip and no stories, I don't know how long you're going to make it
Go
in this chat.
home.
Well, you also have to destroy the person you guys all have mutual in common.
If you don't have one mutual, you can kind of really do a psychoanalysis on. It's like, why are we even getting dinner?
What are you gonna talk
So
about?
true.
I'm just like, I hate to just shoot this shit. Like, let's go deep into someone really quick.
We have to beat a dead horse.
Literally.
Literally. Well, thank you so much for being on the pod,
Thank
girl.
you for having me. I had so much fun.
Amazing final note, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, amazing way to close it out. Where can the people find you?
Okay, so you can find me on my Instagram at Caroline Baniewicz, Baniewicz. And then I also have a podcast on Thanks for Good. I'm also doing my one-woman musical. I'm on tour right now.
God.
So check my Insta. I know, I'm kind of like doing...
You're doing
Okay,
everything.
you're doing the
A
damn
lot.
thing.
If you want to listen to my music, it's on Spotify.
Yes.
What else am I doing? That's kind of it.
Okay,
Yeah.
That's a lot of things, by the way.
Thanks.
That's
but,
like too many.
but that's why I'm saying it's like this deep... Part of me is like, is it a deep need to be successful, a deep need to create? And then I'm like, maybe this is just me.
God
We just
forbid.
like to stay busy.
Yeah.
God forbid.
Do you think they ever felt guilty about making a TV show?
They did.
What do you
Like-
mean, like, felt guilty about doing a TV show?
Right. It's like comedians get so in their head. They're like, why am I doing this and not like working in a non-for-profit? Where it's like, okay. And then do you think Abbi and Lana felt guilty?
Wait, I forgot to
because they
bring
were
up in this episode.
Right. Oh yeah, you wrote the essay on this episode.
Oh, yeah, I wanted to ask.
So Abbi Jacobson wrote a book called I Might Regret This about how she was dating that girl from Portlandia
Yes.
and then they broke up and this was her first heartbreak.
Oh.
And she has a chapter in the book of how it was like she was so depressed, she was so sad, she was about to burst into tears crying, and then they yelled action and she like enters the room, and it's the scene in this episode where Alana's in the sad room and she like opens it to check on Alana, and Alana's so sad, and it's like the way I can't watch this episode
But
without
she
trying to
needed
like
the
watch it with that in
lamps.
mind.
She needed the lamps the whole time.
She needed the lamps. The foil was for her.
That is devastating.
Full circle. That's so Katy Perry documentary
Literally.
where she goes up. I also like with comedians, and tell me if you guys have this, but I feel that way about like stand-ups. They're like, you're making a TV show, you should be doing a show in a basement. That's real comedy. And I'm like, I think I would rather be making the TV show.
Right. Well, the lowest art of all, you mean?
I
Stand
don't
up?
need to do improv
Right, exactly.
in a basement.
Come
I don't need
on,
to be doing stand-up in a
please.
basement.
Well, I actually think stand-up is a lower form of art than even improv, because improv involves emotions, where so many stand-ups are so
Stand up is like, how can I be on stage and not be in my body?
right. It's,
Yeah.
it's so scientific stand-up and has so little to do with the person. I mean, because the least funny and interesting people I know are the best at stand-up.
That's so interesting.
100%. Like the people who are the best stand-up joke writers, you talk to them off stage and it's like, okay.
I wonder if it's
Yeah.
because they're like computer
Saved.
because
Yeah,
it is so
they're
scientific
computer.
that
Yeah,
they're like just
exactly.
watching what you're saying and like
They're just very exactly. They're all they do is like observe, compute it, and then turn it into content. But they're not like living a real human life half the time.
Yeah, like they're not at a party.
no, they're not at
Or
a
if they
party.
are,
No.
they're watching it.
They're not falling into a koi pond.
But these girls, they would fall into a co-pond.
These girls always remind me I can make time in my life to do drugs.
no, that's Alana. That is
Yeah.
exactly, especially with like her on Hulu, her special. Everyone go watch it, and she's like a mother, and she's like, I still am finding time to do drugs.
Yeah, like like it was so eye-opening that I'm like, they are directors, they are writers, they are stars, they are producers, and they still are smoking weed sometimes. Like maybe I could let myself go for a walk.
You could go for a
I
walk.
think Nikki Glaser should get back into substances. I think it'd be amazing for her career.
Yeah, but you
I
know what?
think
I bet
she-
the spray tan keeps her busy.
The spray tan's $1,000,000%. My only thing is that like she was an alcoholic.
Oh, okay, and I didn't
And
know
she
that.
quit. Yeah.
She was an alcoholic. So I'm wondering
Well,
if
that's how she got good.
I know, this is what I'm always saying is like, should I quit alcohol? Anne Hathaway is sober, but it's like Anne Hathaway had to be drunk first.
I think you have to give yourself another year or two, especially since you're just now on the Prozac. Like, I think you have to like mix pills for a little bit.
Yeah.
And
You
I think
really
if you're
have to go with
someone who
it.
can say, can I get off of it? I don't think you have a problem.
Amazing.
So like, I think that's the thing is you need to realize, do I have a problem or do I not
Your
have a
friends
problem?
have to tell you. That's when you know you've hit it.
You know that you have a problem.
You can't stop it yourself.
and my friends
Others have
actually
to
just
stop it
begged
for
me to
you.
have a drink.
No, same. My friends are like, come on, girl, have a
Yeah,
drink.
John Mulaney is only informed because he mixed benzos with alcohol and cocaine.
Okay, so our takeaway to any young viewers out there, do the drugs, party hard, do not take care of yourself.
I guess that's the real art of it all. And the stand-up comedians who are just computing all the time, they're barely drinking at a party.
I feel like stand-ups are always drinking.
No, but not the ones that are always computed.
Not the ones that are the successful ones.
It's okay.
It's always the ones who were drunk, then they got sober for 4 months, and then they blow the fuck up.
Oh.
So it's
what
like
am I doing wrong?
What are you drinking?
you need to be
You're
partying
sober.
harder. Tequila?
I'm not sober. I actually had 3 drinks last night. Can you believe?
You need to
It's
commit to
Tu-
something.
that's
I
a
think it's your big
Tuesday.
problem.
It was a friend's birthday, but also I hadn't had 3 drinks. Wait, oh my god, I had 3 drinks 2 weeks in this past 7 days. 3 drinks one night, 3 drinks another.
That's
I think
okay.
I have a problem.
No,
Please.
wait.
No, I really don't drink.
finally.
I don't drink very much, and I drink Tom Collins.
You're about to
What?
be so
I know, I like
creatively
lemonade.
fruitful after those 2 wild nights, girl.
I'm about to blow up.
I love it. Well, thank you guys so much for listening. We'll be back next week with more Broad City. Till then, see ya.
Bye.